So, you want to illustrate children's books, but you don't know how much money you can make or if it's even enough to live on. Well, my friends, you've come to the right place. Hi friends, how's it going? My name is Forrest. I'm a children's book illustrator and aspiring author, and we're going to be talking about what you can expect to make if you're interested in illustrating kids' books. So, when I was starting out in this industry, I really had no idea how much money one could make doing this. And even now, I feel like there's not really a lot of information out there. There's another YouTuber on here, Anusha Sayed, who I would recommend checking out. I'll link her down below. She has a lot of information about the picture book illustration field, how to get clients, how to get an agent, that kind of thing. Definitely recommend checking her out. But I also want to create a little video that discusses the finances about this field with my perspective. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet so there's not too much preamble. And while there are a whole variety of different kinds of books like board books, activity books, other such things, this video is going to be specifically about picture books and middle grade books, just because that's the most experience that I have. Let's break down the different terms for getting paid when it comes to book publishing. One is the advance. That's what you typically think of when you say, I'm getting X amount of money for this book project. That's the lump sum that the publisher is paying you for illustrating this book, which is usually broken up into different payments. The other thing is royalties. That's a percentage of money you make from the sales of that book when and if it has sold enough that it has earned the publisher back the advance that it gave you. So if a publisher paid you $20,000 for an advance on a book and the book sold really, really well and they were able to get that money back, then you would start to be able to make royalties on it. There's not really like a one size fits all when it comes to what you can expect to get paid when working in this field. A lot of things depend on the size of the publisher, where the publisher is located. Through my experience and through other illustrators who I'm friends with, more often than not, UK publishers tend to actually pay less than publishers in the United States. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but that just seems to be the case. Additionally, if you have an author who's pretty well established, you can expect to get a bigger advance. I have had friends who have worked on picture books for celebrities who have made 30 to 50 grand on a picture book. So the range is big, but that's definitely not the average. Typically, you can expect to get paid in the United States for a picture book somewhere between just over 10 grand to maybe just before 20 grand. And again, if the publisher is smaller, that money is going to lean towards the lower end of the spectrum. The lowest that I have worked on for a picture book has been 10 grand, and the highest amount that I've worked on a picture book is 22. And I'm just starting out my career in this. I've only been doing this for a couple of years, but that's about the range that I have seen in my personal experience and other artists who I'm friends with. If you've been working in this industry for a long time and your books sell very well, you can convince a publisher for a bigger advance. There are some illustrators who can make on average between 25 to 35 per picture book or more. And if you're someone like John Klassen or Lewin Pham, you can make a crap ton of money. Also, if you're not familiar with Lewin Pham, definitely recommend checking her out. She's an artist who I love because she kind of does like a big FU to you have to have one style. You can tell that all of her works are similar and made by the same person if you look at them, but each book has its own characteristic, its own vibe, and I love that. She's great, super talented. Definitely recommend checking out her work. Now, for middle grade books, it's a little bit different because they aren't like these 32-page, big, bright, colorful books. They tend to pay a little bit less. Now, I love middle grade. I have a really big soft spot for middle grade. I actually want to make a video talking about why I love middle grade so much and why I feel like it doesn't get as much love as it should. When it comes to middle grade, typically the advances are going to be like maybe 4 to 10 grand per book. The illustration requirements can be a little different. You might need to just make a cover. You might need to make a cover and a couple of interior illustrations, like maybe illustrations under the chapter heads, or which are the type of books that I've been working on recently. It's a cover and then you do like 40 to 50 interior illustrations that are all black and white. For example, you can have a book like A Series of Unfortunate Events where there are several illustrations to like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which is like extremely illustrated. And now I'm working on a middle grade book series that I'm really, really excited about. I'm so stoked about this. It's with a really good publisher and a bigger named author. And originally we were offered 15 for each book. And I was like, great, that's fine. And then my agent was like, let me take a look at that. And then we got more money and better royalties. And I was like, hell yes. Hi, hello, it's editing me here. It's the day before I'm putting this up online, and I realized that I went through the entire video talking about what I make individually per book, and I don't talk about what I take home like per year. So in order to make this like a sustainable income, obviously you can't work on one picture book for $10,000 and live off of that for a year. That'd be extremely difficult to just have that be your only income. In order to make this a sustainable income, I do work on at least 2 to 4 books per year. I'm at a point now where I'm getting like 40, 50 grand a year. And it's because right now I'm working on a picture book and 3 middle grade books. So there will be 4 books that I'm working on this year. So yeah, just wanted to add that in. Now back to previous me. Now, can you make a career out of this? Yes, I'm living proof of that. I've been doing this for the last 2 years, and it's been stressful and hectic, but I've managed to keep myself afloat. However, there is something that I want to talk about this industry that I don't think a lot of people talk about, and this covers art as a career in a lot of aspects. A lot of people that you see are succeeding or that are doing well are often people who came from money, have a significant other with an income that they can help rely on to pay the bills. Yes, you can make money from being a book illustrator. You can survive. I'm surviving, but I definitely, could be making more money, and I'm rethinking my career, and that's a whole other side of the spectrum. But a lot of what you see are people who are able to have something help them out, and that's no shade to them. If you are with somebody, if you're married and you're able to share the expenses and you're being an artist, that doesn't mean that you're not successful in your career. I don't want you to feel discouraged if you're seeing somebody succeed and you feel like you're behind and you're in this field and you're like, why isn't it working out for me? Because a lot of people, I'll just be honest, I don't feel like a lot of people disclose enough that like they have somebody who they can share life expenses with. I am not. I am single. I don't live on my own. I have roommates. I don't come from a wealthy background and I don't have family money to rely on. So I'm speaking as somebody who has to make my own way in the world. I have to and can only rely on me. Can you make a living out of this? Yes. Is it easy? No. Honestly, I would say to expect, if you are single like me, to try and have a backup, like a part-time job or something like that. I recently had a part-time job that I had for the last year or so that I ended up leaving because the projects that I'm working on now are paying a lot more than the projects I was working on previously. So I am comfortable enough to be able to focus on those projects and have left my side job. Will that last forever? Who knows? Hopefully my channel takes off and maybe that'll be something.
This girl is delusional.
Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.